Hi, everyone, and welcome to Brave Beyond the Stage. I'm Jennifer Marshall, co-founder and executive director of This Is My Brave, and I'm so excited to be joined today by Kristine Haataja, who has been our lead producer in. Kristine and I are going to have a conversation about her involvement with This Is My Brave, how we got to know each other, and get into what she loves about This Is My Brave, and we'll just dive right in. So, hi, Kristine.
Hi, Jen. Great to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks so much for taking.
I'm so excited and so honored to be asked to be part of this show. Thank you.
Oh, we are so honored to have you as part of our Brave family, and such a big part of our Brave family because you've been involved for a number of years. And let's go and start kind of from the very beginning, because
Sure.
Everybody has a story about how they got involved with This Is My Brave. So will you share with everyone your involvement, how you found us, and how we got to know each other?
Yeah, so I actually first learned about This Is My Brave probably back in 2015, and I was just, Googling around the internet about mental health issues. I found you and the show. I read about your history, and I saw a show, and I said, I'm going to do that someday, So that was just kind of the back of my mind. And then if we fast forward to fall of 2016, I was one of the members of a training program, Leadership Napa Valley, where we learned all about the community and, where they were training people for community involvement. So one of the things they did is they broke us into groups, and each group had to do a community project that, that would address an unmet community need. So we were all strangers. We didn't know each other. And our first team meeting was supposed to be team introductions, like who we were, what our interests and passions were, and what were our skills. So I was meeting with my group, and when I introduced myself, I mentioned that I was retired and that I was very passionate about mental health advocacy. And I told them I was because of lived experience raising a child with bipolar disorder. And being open like that kind of did exactly what My Brave does, because then everybody else started sharing family experiences with mental health and things like that. Some people told us their stories, like a story of attempted suicide,
That's what we call brave multiplies brave, right?
Exactly. And so, so then we continued, and we found out that we were all really interested in the arts, theater, music, visual arts, things like that. So we decided that we had this duality of interests, and that we wanted our project to be focused either on the arts or on mental health, or on preferably the combination of the two. So, so we talked about a lot of potential projects, and we all ended up needing to do research, come back to the team, and present a project, whether we thought it was feasible or not, things like that. So we met, and after everyone was done, I introduced the idea of doing a Brave show. And after I said that, my teammate Brian stood up and said, well, I think we all know what we want to do. And I said, what is that, Brian? He said, we want to do This Is My Brave. And everybody just jumped up and said yes. So that was kind of how we started. So then I contacted you because I had, been looking at that. It was the end of November. And you said, oh, that's great. You can do a show next fall. And I said, no, we can't. I said, our leadership training program ends in May, and we have to do our show by early May at the latest. And I said, if we can't do that, we can't do the show. We'll have to pick another project. And so you said, okay.
I said, let's do this. I still remember where I was when we were talking on the phone that day, because I was in the parking lot at Michael's. I had to run in to grab something, probably for my kids' school or something. And we happened to catch each other, and I took the call in the parking lot. And I remember your enthusiasm over it. And I remember you saying everyone was just so excited, and that you were determined to get it done. So we did it. And Your team was incredible, has been incredible to work with. You guys worked so well together. Everybody had such dynamic skills that they brought to the table. So what would you say, Kristine, was your biggest takeaway from leading the Napa Valley production
Yeah.
team?
Well, first, let me talk about my team, because we did
Yes.
work well together, and it was pure chance because we didn't know each other. We were just assigned to the same group, you know.
Mhm.
But I think the key thing is that we were really lucky to have diverse backgrounds.
Mhm.
We had different skills. We had a graphic designer, we had a videographer, people in marketing, project management, and in theater performance. So we had that key skill set just right there, just by chance. And because we were all from different sectors of the community, we also
Mhm.
had very deep relationships across the board, you know, not all the same people. We knew different people in the community. And that was really helpful, because we had people who could lead us to potential sponsors. And then
Mhm.
also, we just had incredible in-kind services. We
Mhm.
had an in-kind photographer who had a heart for mental health. We had a printing company that printed all of our playbills and gave us a discount on any posters and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
We had free audition and rehearsal space. And we also got free use of a college theater. And so those were a lot of costs that
Oh,
we
it's huge.
didn't have to have, you know. So anyway, if we get back to your question, I think the reason we were so successful is we had those two key elements.
Mhm.
One, we had diverse and relevant skill sets, and then we had this deep knowledge of the community. And I think that, oh, and of course, we were all fully committed to producing the show. So
Yeah.
I think that's what really made us so successful.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And the filmmaker, Beth, got a chance to shoot some incredible footage behind the scenes,
Mhm.
backstage, which you all put together in a wonderful video that really recapped, I think, the experience from the production team side.
Well, you know, at the end of the leadership program, every team had to present their show to the public, you know,
Hmm.
and we had 15 minutes. We had to get people to understand like what it is we did. And
Hmm.
then after that, which is not in the video, is like what leadership skills we learned had helped us make this happen.
Hmm.
So it was kind of a competition and we won, you know.
Of course you did.
No big prize, but you know, everybody was, I think everyone was just awed that we could do so much,
Hmm.
because we really started the show after the 1st of January and had it the first weekend in May.
And
So
it had a big impact on the community. We're going to get to that
yeah.
about how you did, how you had that impact with the second show. But
Mhm.
with the first show, can you share a little bit about that impact after the first show in 2017?
We had a community partner and beneficiary, which was a mental health nonprofit. And when we wrote up our memorandum of understanding, we said, well, we want part of the money to do things our way, right? So after that show, we had $6,000. Now, there had been an organization that we had talked to, you know, regarding having a project with them. It was Innovations Community Center, which is it's a community center for people with mental health issues, and you know they have all different kinds of programs and help with jobs and resumes, all sorts of things. Well, they really wanted an art project or art program, but they didn't have any money for it. So after the show, we asked them to write a proposal, a grant proposal to us, telling what they would do if we
Mm-hmm.
gave them that money. And we were really surprised. They had clearly been thinking about it for a long time, and it was a really great proposal. So, and I think what we liked about it, it was that they were going to have a consultant, but they weren't going to like spend all their money on artists to come in or anything like that. What they wanted to do was to develop a peer-led art program.
I
And
love that.
so, yeah, and that's what makes it sustainable, you know?
Mhm.
So we were really excited about it. We gave them $6,000. They started this art program, and 9 months later, they had an art show.
Mm.
And it was amazing because they had so many different media,
Mhm.
in terms of art. And they had started an art program 1 day a week, and now they were up to 5 days a week.
Mm,
And they had peer leaders, and it was just amazing. And of course, when Beth and I were the ones who went to the show because it was during the workday, and their thankfulness and their enthusiasm of about the show and how we did it and getting the money, they were just overwhelmed. And it
mm,
was just another continuation of, all right, the Brave impact for us as producers, to
yep.
see what it was doing for other people, and to be so proud of what we've done. It
Yep.
was just really amazing. Yeah.
Mm, so powerful. And then the team took a year and a half
A
off
couple of
ish.
years off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was May of 2017, and our next show was February 2020. So
So in between, you served and helped us as a mentor to some other shows that had been in
yeah,
production, because those were the years where we were bursting at the seams with 17, 19 shows a year. And we were so thankful that you had time to share with those other teams that had production going on and could advise them, which was so wonderful. And they were so thankful for your help. And then you got to go to the show. We got to meet up
yeah. I
again in
went to the show in
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I mentored that show, and it was just a great experience. And I connected with that team so much. I just said, I'm going to go there. I'm going to be there, coming to your show. So
Oh,
that was
I
a lot of
love it.
fun. And it's just another high, just another high from being part of my Brave. Yeah.
Another just way that you were giving back. So that was amazing. And then, um, so your team then came back together after taking a little bit of time off and decided that you wanted to do the show again, but you wanted to feature young people. So tell
And
us
that was,
about,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
tell us about that experience.
Well, it's actually interesting because the idea of a youth show came back in 2017. After the show, we were all really excited. We went out for pizza, and you joined us, and
Yep.
you kind of whispered to me, "Do you think you'd do another show?" And so I said, "Hey guys, do you think we want to do another show?" And they said, "Yeah, that sounds great." And then we started talking about it, and we said, "But this time we want to do a youth show, with young people." So that was kind of where the idea was born. And that's kind of where we went. We wanted to do, we had auditions for people 14 to 24. So we had a bunch of high school students, we had some college students, and I think just one who had recently graduated from college. Yeah.
What would you say, Kristine, were the main differences between the two shows?
Well, big difference. So with the show with all adults, everyone was really prepared. They came with a piece, so it was like really a true audition. They had a story, they had poetry, they had music, or whatever it was, and they had kind of confidence in being able to do it. With the younger people, it was so different. Very few of them really had what I would call a true audition. And those tended to be the people who had music, obviously, original music, and poetry. A lot of them just came and said, "Well, I've got this mental health thing, and I'd like to tell a story about," and they tell us a little bit about themselves, or they might have something that was long and rambly. And we had to make that decision of, can we work with these people? Can we help them create focus, pull something together, have that idea of hope at the end? And so it was a different kind of project totally. And in order to do that, we decided what we had to do is each cast member had to have a mentor, someone who could work with them, help them edit, help them focus, whatever it would take, and to coach them so that they would be ready for the show.
And you did a great job. It was just so neat to see those young people on stage, and the end, they would finish their piece and the audience applause, just the smiles on their faces. You could see them feeling so empowered by the
Right.
experience.
And you could see the growth. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I remember, it's like somebody going like this, reading his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my mentee is like, you got to look at the audience. You can't make a connection with somebody if you're just got
Yeah.
your face down in your paper. And so seeing them change, and then even more so, because we had two shows. We had
Yep.
one in Napa and one St. Helena. They were so awed by their power, I think, after the Napa show, that the St. Helena show was so much more confident. You
Oh,
know,
it was amazing to
it was
see.
really
And
amazing how confident they were, because they knew, I can do this, and people are applauding me,
yeah.
So that
And
was cool.
seeing everybody connect in the lobby and talk and go up to the teens and say, oh my gosh, your story, thank you. And the teens engaging with the audience members. Oh, that's just sometimes that's my favorite part, is the
Yeah,
end.
it is.
Um, and then tell us for the second show how the funds you raised as a result of the production, where they went.
Well, they haven't gone yet.
Well, yes,
So
they're getting
the show was February 2020, and then COVID happened. And so we knew that there was not going to be there was no programming that was going to work, right then. So we postponed it, and we are right now in the process of writing an RFP, and we'll be, sending it to all the nonprofits and publishing the paper and stuff like that. And what we want now is we want to give it to new programs that would combine art and mental health
Mm,
for youth.
I love it.
I think we're kind of focusing mostly on high school youth.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's what the plan is. And we've decided, last time we had $6,000, we gave it all to one place. This time we said, well, we're going to break it up. So we're going to give grants between $1,000 and $2,500. So, it'll probably be at least 3 grants.
It's wonderful.
Maybe more, we'll see. But yeah, we're very excited to see, what happens there.
I love just the ripple effect of the one production leads to potentially several more programs for the community, more people getting
Mhm.
involved, and that's what it's all about.
Right. And I like that the first one, I mean, it had a lasting impact. They still have their art program, and it's going to go on and on. So it's got a lasting effect. The other thing I think that's really great about when we give these grants is it gives us an opportunity to get in the newspaper about the grant, about the RFP and what we're doing and how that money was raised, and get the Brave name out there. And then after the grants are given, then there's another story that you can say about, these are the grants, these are the projects, and these are the organizations that are benefiting again from what we did in 2020. So it's a way to extend the impact of This Is My Brave. And it's not just about the show, it's about some of the end results and the impact on the community.
It's so beautiful. So the next thing I want to talk about is what we've been working on together for and our program managers, especially Erin Gallagher, who has been devoting a lot of time with you on building this. But why would you say it was important for you to help us create the Brave Academy, which is our new program to bring This Is My Brave to more communities across the country?
Yeah. Well, as a producer, you can only do so many shows. And when you're in a smaller community, I mean, Napa County is 140 people, 140,000, I'm sorry. And so you can't do it every year, So what it does is, I realized that it gave me an opportunity to be involved and to impact all sorts of shows. It would be something lasting. And after producing 2 successful shows and mentoring the others, I just believed that I had a lot of knowledge that I could share to help other production teams. So that's, it's kind of part of my lasting impact,
We're so excited to roll it out, and it's just now really coming to life, full force, where we've got, we're going to be running these monthly meetings, webinars where people can come if they want to learn about what's involved in bringing This Is My Brave to their community. So we have one actually tonight. But it'll be, you know, we'll have this pre-recorded. So, but people can go to our website and find out when the next one is coming up and can sign up. So that's really exciting. So my next question is, why do you think more people should get involved in This Is My Brave?
Well, so This Is My Brave really does change lives. I've seen it in our cast members. I've seen it in us. I mean, we're still really excited about doing it, and, you know, maybe do another one in a year or so, we'll see. But it's okay. Yeah.
Take your time.
So I see what it does for the cast members. They grow in confidence, they grow in their self-esteem, they become more authentic in their relationships with other people, and they also create a support community for themselves. And I also know that it has a really strong impact on producers. You know, we have a sense of pride and accomplishment. It's kept our team together. That's something that's, you know, maybe unique for us. And I've seen the impact on the audience members too, you know, as they talk about the show, as they go in the lobby. I mean, they cry, they share their own mental health journeys right then and there. And it really does break down the stigma. So after the first show, I mean, I was flying like a kite for 3 months. It was just so exhilarating. And I really think it was one of the most important accomplishments of my life. So I would say to others, if you're a mental health advocate and you want to help break stigma surrounding mental health, then you should consider producing This Is My Brave show. Because I don't think you'd regret it.
And, you know, a lot of our producers say the same thing, that it's been a really important part of their life and life-changing, and really something that they're so proud of. So I don't think you're alone in that. And I share the same emotion when I talk about This Is My Brave and what it's meant to my life and the people like you who have become dear friends over the years. And so I just am so grateful. And
I think it's really interesting. I was at a social event on Friday night, and my husband brought a woman over and said, like, oh, this woman is a social worker in the schools, deals with mental health. So we started talking, and then I said, so did you see This Is My Brave? And she said, oh yeah, I saw that. You know, so it's interesting when I talk about it, that I find people in the community who have seen our show or heard about our show or things like that. And some of them say, like, when are you going to have another? Because I know some people who ought to be in it, you know? So yeah.
We get that a lot. And I have a story just similar. I was walking over to my neighbor's house last night to ask her to watch our cats while we're on vacation. And I passed a couple walking their dog, and I had my This Is My Brave College Edition t-shirt on. And he said, hey, we support your thing. And I said, my nonprofit, like you? And he said, yeah. He said, when you had that sign in your front yard with the, and I said, oh my gosh, that was when in 2019, when we did the first pilot of our high school edition show in my hometown. And he said, yeah, we've been supporting ever since. And I said, oh my gosh. And, you know, I try to stay as involved as I can with our donors, but I get pulled in lots of directions. So I hadn't yet physically spoken to him and connected with him, and they live up the street in our neighborhood. And I just said, you know, it means so much to us to have that support of the local community. And he said the same thing, like, when's the show going to happen here locally? So we can't wait to bring him and his wife and family, hopefully their daughter, maybe, to the high school edition show we're going to be doing this fall. So just the power of This Is My Brave. I truly think that This Is My Brave can be a public health intervention, and when it comes to mental health and changing the conversation around mental health and mental illness, and really educating people and inspiring them to know that recovery is possible.
You know, there's the other thing though, when you're looking for sponsors and stuff, I don't think people think about it, but like our first show was in May. May is Mental Health Month. We were the first show in the community, or the first event in the community for May's Mental Health Month. But our county mental health division gives grants for the May's Mental Health Month. And so anyone who wants to like do something that month that's related and, you know, has a potential of impacting a lot of people, you write a grant request. And the county has supported both of our shows, you know, financially, which is really, I think that's great. You know,
it shows the need for it for the community. So yeah. Kristine, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for all you have done for This Is My Brave over the years, and for your community in raising the awareness about mental health. And I can't wait to see what else we do together in the future. So
I look forward to anything we might do together. It's been such a great experience and wonderful getting to know you and all of your staff as well. So.
Well, we are so grateful. And so everyone stay tuned for the next, like I said, producer interest meeting on our website. And Kristine, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day today.
Thanks. You too.